What up, though? It's Cashis. Shouting out my homeboy, Mikey T, the movie star.
My guy Cashis is in the building, and we're gonna start it off like this, man. Benzino came out, saying Royce left your label, Joe Budden left your label, Ortiz left your label, Crooked couldn't save you. Yellow
Mm-hmm.
Wolf been flopping, and where the hell Cashis at though? Heard from Obi Trice only twice, and not a word from Stat Quo. And for those
Right,
of y'all who don't know who Cassius is, we need the backstory. And that's what we're going to do today. So, first and foremost, never mind Benzino. Cassius had a career before all of that. So, we're going to give
right.
respect to Cassius for tapping in. I want to welcome you back, my guy. Cassius, what up?
Much appreciated, man. I appreciate it.
So, let me just ask you this, man. Basically, going from Chicago and moving to
Mm-hmm.
Cali, was that a picnic for you? Like, was it an easy transition for you?
Um, it was both, because it was rough because I kept getting in trouble because I brought my Chicago mentality with me, so my aggressiveness, I brought that air west, so I kept getting into police trouble. But other than that, like I'm pretty cool. I'm a hustler. I'm in and out. I'm seamless. Like when it comes to like just connecting with people and shit like that, I'm super good like that. So it was just a different culture shock because it's Chicago. Living out there is way different than it is in living out west. So I had to learn the mellow, smooth, like the kind of tactics of how California move in order for me to blend in and be able to make my money out.
So, what did you have to do to bubble in Cali? Like, what did you have to do to get noticed? It's not like Chicago out there. You might have been the man in Chicago, but now you're in LA, What did you have to do, you know what I mean, when you left your original area?
Um, it was different in Chicago. I was just hustling. I was hustling and doing street activities. I was really pushing that. I didn't start rapping for real until I came out to California. So it was easy. I met everybody on the come up, and I guess I was pretty good from the jump. So a lot of people show respect, like from Corrupt. I met him when I first came out here, and just a lot of people showed me love and respect and gave me the tools I needed to survive in the rap game.
Who were some of the other people that embraced you, and who were some of the people that were hating, Because I know you probably could sense it. So keep it real. If you want to drop some names, here's your chance because right now a lot of people are saying your name.
Yeah. Um, who showed love? Like Corrupt, Glasses Malone, Crooked Eye, Suge Knight. Like he was the first exec that really was like super solid with me. Um, Spider um, shit, Prodigy, Alchemist, um, Sly Boogie was probably that was the first feature I ever got. He was signed to I forgot who it was, J Records, and his name was Sly Boogie. That was the first artist that ever like that was signed that ever did a record with me, so that was tight. And rapping Forte, it was a whole bunch of people when I was a kid that really showed love and told me like, boy, you gonna make it, you on fire, and that inspired me to keep going.
That's what's up, man. Can you tell me about when you got that chance to meet Suge Knight?
Yeah, I was at a we was at a club and I got in, I was underage, but I got in because they liked the person that I was with. Everybody was on, so you know what I mean. You just pay a little bit, you can get in. And Suge and them was in there, and it was turned. You know what I mean. And I was just kicking it with them, and that was my first time ever having Cristal. Suge passed me a bottle of Cristal. That shit was crazy. And when we went outside, somebody was tripping, like looking like they was iron Suge. So, I pulled up on them, whoop whoop. And then Eastwood walked over there with me. I'm like, ooh. And then afterwards, I hollered at Suge. Suge's like, come through to the office. And they used to call my crib all the time. Like Death Row was calling my crib, like, come through, come through. And I came through and he was cool. Then he went to jail, like, but Suge was cool. Like, I ain't see none of that. Like, he was a cool dude when I was around, for real.
At that point, were you introducing yourself as Cassius or were you introducing yourself as Little Ramon?
Yeah, I was just Ramon. I ain't had no name. You know what I mean? It was we was doing Renegades. You know, me and Rick Knight, we was doing Renegades, and I was just a rapper in Renegades. Like I never took rap that serious. It was just something I wanted to do because I have a passion for hip hop. I love rhyming, but I really wanted to go a whole nother route, and like honestly, I had a whole different route, and then I got to a point to where I outgrew the lifespan that I thought I was gonna have, so I had to do what I then I started applying goals. I started actually having goals, and my only goal was hip hop.
That's what's up, man. What was the meeting like? Did you walk into like a red office? You know what I mean? Was it any of that classic
Nah,
death row, Suge Knight type stuff?
nah, they was cool as a motherfucker, man. Everybody was just chilling. There was a bunch of dudes in there, big rough ass dudes in there, just chilling and eating Roscoe's. And dude was telling me like, man, you know what I'm saying, asking how old you are. He's like, okay, you still a kid, man. He's like, man, you want to stay looking like that? When you get to 30, cut out all that Hennessy, all that drinking. See, everybody be drinking that hard liquor and they be looking crazy. So he told me that and I was laughing. And then he told me how old he was, and I was like, man, that was crazy. I'm like, you straight up. He's like, yeah, I don't drink that hard liquor no more. So that stuff with me. It was cool. It wasn't like no problems. I only went up there a couple of times and then because I was doing my thing, you know what I mean? I was doing my own hustle thing, so I ain't had time to be going up there all the time. But I had nothing but respect for them, man.
So, you put in your grind and you attracted the attention of Shady Records on your first
Hmm.
project. That doesn't
Hmm.
happen. Can you tell me about how you got the attention of Shady Records?
A demo, no bullshit. Just a demo, some regular ass crazy shit. A demo. Dark Parker heard it, and that was it, bro. A demo, no bullshit.
So, what were the formalities of signing with Eminem at this point? Like, was it through an email? Like, did they email you back? We heard your demo. Did they come and see you? Break that whole thing down for me.
All right, me signing with M. We flew to New York. I had a management at that time. The crew, we flew out there to New York. We went to meet with J Records first, SRC, Shady Records. J Records, it was cool. Chopped it up. It was love, respect, boom. SRC offered $1 million. I, that's how I look. Like, oh hell yeah. My manager already had the plug with Shady though. He already had the meeting set up. He had been sending them demos of mixtape songs. And we went there and I spit these bars in front of Dot. And I walked out and I was signed. It was just like that.
So you're in that meeting.
Hmm.
So you're in that meeting. Does Eminem show up to the meeting?
Nah, it's just after that, it goes to him. Him calls me like, yo. And the next day I'm in Detroit. And I go to the studio, him pull up, and we just work for like a week or two.
So Eminem would put you on the Re-Up album, the main single.
Yeah.
You don't
Hmm.
know. How did that
Hmm.
happen? Is that what happened in those initial recordings?
You don't know what's done about 4 months in. About 4 months in. Cause it was after Serenade My Life. And then you don't know that done. So I did a bunch of songs. Um, I did some of the stuff that was on County Hound, and then we went straight into. That's when he told me about the You Don't Know song, and then yeah, yo, all them. He was telling me about it, and then I went in and did my verse, and came back. He was like, "That shit is crazy. Let's go." I did 3 verses on For You Don't Know, and he picked the first one because I'm like versatile, so I liked the way the beat was going, so I just did a whole bunch of different verses and told him whichever one you want.
So he calls you and tells you about You Don't Know. Is he like, this is going to be the main
Nah, I'm there.
single?
No, I was in Detroit already. I was in Detroit already, just recording for. um, recording for the county house. So I was already out there recording with him, and then that's when he told me, "Yo," because I was hearing about the re-up, but no one knew officially. Like he didn't say like we definitely doing this. And then that's when I knew everything was spinning off right there.
So how did it go for the music video? Eminem put on the Hannibal Lecter mask for that one. You had
That shit was
50,
tight.
Banks, Yayo.
Hmm
How did that whole video shoot go? Was that in Detroit? Was that in California?
That was in Detroit. That was one of my favorite video shoots, bro. That was one of my favorite video shoots ever because it got my brothers in it, my cousin in it. They the prisoners in the video. You know what I'm saying? Um, I got to do the whole MTV run, do all that type of shit though, and you know, like to be on that and be able to do shit with Fifth, that was like, I'm a big 50 Cent fan. You know what I mean? So that was, and for him to tell me that I belonged in that space, that further propelled me to where I need to be because I already felt like, M cold as hell, and M told me I belonged in that space, and then I didn't know how 50 was gonna go because you just never know. And Fifth's like, man, you definitely belong here. You'll stop, and that changed my whole outlook on everything. I knew that now was like I was on to something for real right then.
So is the You Don't Know music video shoot where Eminem introduced you to 50? Is that what it was? Did M introduce you or did you guys just meet on the set?
Um, I think he meant introduced. I think we got introduced one more time, but on the set, we just walked over like, "What up, though, Fifth?" I when I see somebody, I'm always gonna be like, "What up, though?" You know what I mean? I always do that. That's just how I am. I don't just walk past people. I always say, "What up?" You know. And he was like, "What up?" Cool, and we chopped it up. And he had heard some of the music of mine that was gonna be coming out. He told me that shit was hard, and shit was what's up.
Yeah, I think you guys did BET 106 in Park as well. How was it going to
Hmm
BET with Eminem and 50 Cent?
That shit was amazing. That shit was amazing. I was just trying to get through it. You know what I mean? At the same point, it was crazy. I was making sure that I ain't forget my words and shit because that was like it was it was people we went from. Don't get me wrong. It's either this way or reverse. We went from MTV to BET or BET to MTV, and I'm getting out the car. People got mad. The bandanas on. Fucking that shit crazy, dog. Like that shit was crazy. That was the first actual moment I had of like, oh shit, like they tripping and they were rapping the verse, and that shit was bugged out for me. That shit was bugged out for me, man.
What was it like behind the scenes in those hallways? Was everybody bugging out in the hallways or is everybody more reserved?
We were playing Miss Jenkins in the background right before the thing. They was playing Miss Jenkins, and Fifth was like, shit, that shit crazy. That's where he was hearing that song for the first time, and I was peeled out of my mind.
The Freddie
Miss
Mercury
Jenkins.
sample.
hmm And he was like tripping and going off the song, and Elvis was like, I told you, he going crazy. My boy Cash is going crazy." And that's when I was heavy on Zanny, so I didn't really like grasp the value in the moment like I could have, how I remember them now. You know what I mean? Because I was just really like, you know, but that's just how I functioned in life. So, but it was dope. I still realize I'm hitting the stage with Tony Ayo, Lloyd Banks, Eminem, 50 Cent, like damn, you know what I mean? That it made me feel like what did I do to be here? You know what I'm saying? Like what did I do to deserve to be here at this spot? So it made me feel proud at that moment to be accepted by, people that I'm fans of. That's all you really want in hip hop. When you get to being an artist, you want the people you look up to accept you as one of them. You know what I mean? That's how you know you're doing your job.
So I want to ask you, what did Eminem think when you played him the Freddie Mercury Queen sample, Bohemian Rhapsody on your album? What did he think about that, or did he play a part in it?
Um, The first song was over my boy Ricky Ninety's beat. It was a whole different record, and him heard it, loved the record, and he freaked it with the sample. And when he came back, he was like, "I want you to hear something." He played it, and then I came back to his studio in Detroit and recorded because I recorded it out in LA. I think I did that one at Paramount. But so then we went back to I went back to Detroit and re knocked it out at M Spot, and I think they, Naughty had some stuff still on there and stuff like that, and it was banging though. It was crazy.
So it was Eminem's idea to put that Freddie Mercury singing
Mhm.
at the beginning.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that wasn't the whole song. It was a different type of vibe of a record before he changed it into that. He saw it like playing out like a movie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
hell
that was
yeah.
genius, man, because Eminem had performed with Elton John, a friend of
Hmm.
Freddie Mercury, so you could tell how when I was listening to your album, your
Hmm.
EP, I could just tell how personal that was to Eminem to put up the Freddie Mercury joint on there. I was blown away, you know what I mean, just by what you're saying. And now to hear you talk about they were playing it behind the scenes at BET, man, 50 Cent
Hmm.
being impressed by that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody went on to make $1 billion at the box office.
Damn.
Crazy.
Also, they said for that Miss Jenkins song, that was the first rap song they ever cleared for that one. They never cleared
Queen.
that for a rap song. Yeah,
That was the first. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
yeah. They listened to the record themselves in order to clear it. They a state of whoever it is, they listened to it and gave me thumbs up and said yeah. So that shit was crazy. It was a big deal in order to get that cleared.
A lot of people were talking about you when they heard the Re-Up album. Were you
Hmm.
ever worried that Eminem was going to outshine you? Respectfully, a lot of people don't want to get on a song with Eminem. The verse is probably going to get skipped. So were you ever worried about it? You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all. I'm not like you know, I ain't afraid of nobody on a song. I ain't afraid of nobody in life, but on the song, like this, what I do. This isn't a cooking contest or like a football game or I'm betting my life on a jump shot. I do this, so I know what my level is, my talent level is, and my delivery is, and I'm not competing with someone that's on my team. Like I say, I'm a fan of Eminem, so I just want to do my best so that I don't make him look bad when I'm on the song. You know what I mean? So I'm never competing with him on a record at all. I'm just doing my best so I don't make him look bad on the record. I'm for real a loyal dude. I'm down for the team. Like I don't try and step on people's toes. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna not do my best to make someone else look better, but I'm not going to compete with my people that's on my same team. I think that's crazy to do.
So Eminem rapped on You Don't Know. He said, when it's beef,
Hmm.
you just got to know when to butt in and butt out. If there's a
Hmm.
problem, we solve it. We don't resolve it. It's usually just
Hmm.
evolves into one big brawl, and we all get involved in it. And we should all get a merit this much beef we inherit. Did you feel like
Hmm.
you inherited beef right when you joined Shady Records?
Um, At first, yeah. At first I did, and I did at that point. It was a little like whatever, but it ain't been like that since then because times have changed. It's not as serious. The friction ain't serious like it. But at first I did, yes. But I'm also a person who likes that type of energy. I would say, like I like I thrive well in that type of space in that environment. I really thrive in that. So I was more than prepared. Let's just say, I did when you from did it seem like I was like I moved like I was ever worried before? Like when you seen did I seem like I was ever concerned? I never seemed like I was concerned all the time. So I think I did a good job about that.
So on the same song you rapped, Pistol Play, Ricochet, See Where
Hmm.
the Victim Lay, slumped
mhm,
over bleeding JFK, HK till your chest plate cave. I'm a ride to the death. Do you rep that way? Forever, I'm gonna
yeah,
be a shady 7-4 gangster. Pussy, I'll
mhm,
survive everything you got in your chamber. I thrive off of danger. So you literally said it right there. Jumping in
yeah,
all the beef. You just
mhm,
talking shit. Now squad have to call me. Was there ever, so let me ask you, man, you jumped right into it there. Was there ever any
mhm.
altercation, with Benzino's camp, Murder Inc., Shady, G Unit, anything that you witnessed?
Nah, nah, hell nah. If I witnessed it, I would have been involved in it. Like when I got there, it wasn't like, yeah, nah, hell nah. It wasn't like that. Like it was Game and 50 had they beef at that point. Um, and Game and M was low key bubbling up. You know what I mean? But everybody else, no, I didn't see that. Like I ain't had them type of problems with them. It was little cheap shots out here and there, but then I was going around everywhere, and it wasn't no problem to be had like that. Like I said, we was applying pressure.
So what you were saying a second ago, you know what I mean? It just resonated. I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, same mentality from the first time he jumped on one of the lead singles. You don't know, because when you
Mm,
had said I thrive off of danger, you know what I mean? Jumping into all of that, you were saying that you thrived off of it, man. There was no
yeah,
hesitation for you to jump into that.
nah, not if at that point I was being initiated into what I felt like a gang. I felt I came from a gang culture. That's why I coined the phrase "shady gang." I pushed it like that, so it was important to me. It held value in my life. So I wanted to represent that and protect that and further that. But I didn't. Now I wouldn't jump into a beef like with Benzino. He mentioned my name, so that's why I'm saying it. I would never. Everybody else they talk crazy. I just sit back and just listen unless you mention my name. And if you mention my name, I feel like if you try and treat me, I gotta treat you.
So on your County Hood EP, you said, I never leave, forever got your back, and every soldier in my squad feels like that. And
Hmm.
here you are releasing a new diss track in 2024 aimed at Benzino. And let me just say the
Hmm.
joint's going through the roof. It's getting a
Thank you,
great
man.
response.
Mhm.
So what better person should I talk to than you to clear the air with about this?
For sure, I appreciate it.
So Benzino said, Yellow Wolf been out here flopping, and where the hell
Mhm.
is Cashis at? Heard from Obi only twice and not a word from Stat Quo. How did you
Mhm.
feel when you heard your name mentioned like that on the record?
Um, First I thought it was funny, and because I didn't get what it meant. I didn't quite understand what do you mean where I've been at. I'm surviving. I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm straight. Like, what do you mean? Where do I been at though? And then I listened to the record, and I could see where he was going with it. He's saying like, "Oh, I fell off or I can't exist." And Shady Records was just like, a facade pretty much. I saw where he was going, and then I felt as if I can't let a man use me as a stepping stone. Like I got too much pride, you know. I'm a man, You're not, and it's not serious. It ain't like nobody go get hurt from it. So it's just okay. You want to use me to battle skill, then I'm gonna go ahead and try and crush my enemy all the way from the joint, so he don't have a chance to come back. Like that's all that is. I heard my name and I wasn't gonna say nothing, and then people start sending me reaction videos, and I'm watching other people react to what he's saying, and you mentioned my name, so I figure it's a sport. You know, it's like you call out Steph Curry to a shooting contest. Maybe he go come out there. Maybe he might not, but he might come out there. And if he come out there, what he go do? And that's what I'm doing to Benzino.
Benzino also said, with all them false lines you pitch them, Shady
Mm-hmm.
Records sounds less like a name and more like a description. Chain
Mm-hmm.
here, a feature there. Beside of that, what did he do? Benzino said like he was pitching false lies. Eminem was pitching lies to the Shady
Mm-hmm.
Records artist. Is that true?
I mean, I didn't get no type of lies. I don't know what, I don't know. Does every record label pitch a lie to you? I don't know. I got to release my project. I was on the part of 7 records on the re-up and Jimmy Crack Corn. I was on part of all the singles. Um, I don't know, I don't feel that way, but that's Benzino, man. Like that's rap. He gonna say what he gonna say.
But he said, why does Eminem not get the same criticism that Diddy do? Why do you think Benzino was saying that Eminem should get the same treatment as Diddy?
I don't know. I don't know. Shit, I really don't know nothing about that. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't never seen no weirdo shit like that, so I don't know.
I was thinking more in terms of people, how people talk about the bad boy curse, and they always list off the artists that have been a part of Bad Boy that have gone on,
Oh,
you know
okay,
what I mean? Because on this
okay,
song,
okay.
Benzino was saying Conway left your label,
Uh huh.
West Side Gun left your label, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The Slaughterhouse guys, and then he mentioned, the other class with yourself, Stat Quo. He mentioned all these, and everybody always talks about the issues with G Dep, the issues with Mace, Biggie pass, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think that's more of what he was saying, but
If you speaking as far as that goes, I mean, I don't know. Every man can control their own destiny. And if you dependent on him or Paul to live your life, then maybe this shit ain't for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not dependent on nobody else on what I need to do. I go get what I need to get. So, um, I don't know. I can't speak on the business relations and all that. I just know they got to get a budget. That budget go. You have two of the biggest artists of all time, Eminem and 50 Cent, that's on that label. That budget's gonna go to them when they are releasing music. It makes common sense. You want to release something that makes money. What other people should do is showcase your skills so you can be a part of those projects, and then you work it out from there. That's what the re-up was. The re-up was a canvas for everybody on there. Like these are our artists. Who's next? And the public said Cashis, so that's why I came out. And then I was supposed to come out again, in the midst of um after the county house was supposed to come out again, and then Paul got married. Jimmy picked a record, High Speeds. You know what I mean? But and he was super ready to go for the record. I wanted to go with a different record. Maybe if I would just went with the record Jimmy wanted, it would have just shit would have just went how it was supposed to go. But I don't regret nothing. I love the way it went. You know what I mean? And I love that I can still live my life based off of music today. I can still go do shows. I can still go get features. I can still go get my bread from being a part of the Shady family. You know what I mean? Shady G and the Aftermath. So anybody that's connected with that triangle, you'll never, ever, ever hear me say anything cross about them. Because literally, that's the reason why I don't have to go do nothing to nobody to get money. Because I dedicated my life to music. I dedicated my life to recording. So if I'm not recording music, I would probably dedicate my life to other things. So uh, I can't play them like that. So it's nothing but support you go get from me from that end. Um, I'm not defending nobody though. Like ain't nobody calling me to jump in. I'm not jumping in no beef. Literally, if you mention my name, I'm gonna say something to you. And if you say something that I don't like that's too much, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been in that position and I'm grown now. I didn't grow up. You know what I mean? I ain't the same. But that hunger comes out. You know what I mean? That definite hunger comes out for sure.
yeah, do you think after 50 Cent lost the sales battle with Kanye West that Interscope got cold feet? Did Jimmy Iovine lose interest in everything? I mean,
No, I don't think so. Cause Fifth still made a lot of money off that project, and it still sold really well and generated good, you know, good money. So at that point, keep it real with you, dog. Like M was going through some personal stuff. I was going through my own little like. As an artist, you gotta learn, and it's a hard one. No bullshit. I had to learn like you can't do the same shit that you did before you became an artist for real. I always thought everybody said that was full of shit. I thought, man, y'all just suckers. Y'all ain't got it in you. But it was destroying what I was trying to do because I had to do other things. So that's what messed it up. Like I became like I wasn't tripping off it like that no more. I was utilizing my money in other ways, and I just felt I was better served doing other things. Cause rap checks come slow. Like you get one and then sometimes it come, you got 300,000 coming, but that shit might take 3 months. What you gonna do? You got a lifestyle. What you supposed to do? So that's all it was for me at that point. And then I just had to learn. I had to make a decision, what I'm gonna do. And I just decided to keep going to jump in with the rap, and it paid off. It paid off. I came back to music, but during that time, I wasn't trying to really focus on the. I turned in two classic albums, um, and Interscope already picked my album. It was like 22 songs. They picked it. The A&R from Interscope already. It was ready to go. Um, and then, like I said, M went through his thing, his battle. I was already going through my battle, and for anybody that's like pop Zans and line for anything like that, you'll know it kills your motivation. So it made me stop showing up. Made me just not want to go places. Made me just not want to do shit and just take myself into situations that I didn't need to be in no more. Um, and that took time away from the studio. And I think that gap happened from there because I didn't have a focus. So if you ready to throw the house behind me and I'm not ready for you to throw the house behind me, even though the music is there, you don't know if I'm going. Like it was all kind of like real activities happening. So you don't know if I'm finna go do something. You don't know what I was a for real loose cannon. I was living out that album title.
I wanted to ask, how do you feel about the whole Rap Elvis, the title? Cassius, forget about being his man, forget about Eminem being your homie. How do
Mm.
you feel about the title Rap Elvis?
It don't bother me. It is what it is. Like it really didn't M say that before in the song too. I think he said that before in the song before. So I don't think it's that. It don't really bother me at all. That was like whatever. I thought it could. If you go diss, you could come with a harder diss than that title. I would think.
There are some people that believe Elvis did steal and some who believe that he didn't. But how do you feel about Benzino trying to apply that to Eminem?
Um. Well, I mean, I think Elvis did steal too. I wasn't alive during that time, but you gotta listen to what people saying. You gotta listen to what the artists from that era were saying. If they saying it, I believe it. Um. Now, as far as Eminem, I don't really hear him stealing. Like, who is he trying to rap like? He did his own shit. Their own producers. I've seen them. I went in there. I've seen them. You know what I mean? Like everybody, everybody borrows from who you around. You get what I'm saying? Like when I was around Shady, you saw M had the bandana at the right side in the back pocket. The Shady clothing logo had the pitchforks on it. It was shit like that. Um, that's what somebody was saying. Like I was a bad influence, but they thought that I was being a bad influence, but never. I'm just pushing my line. But who you around rubs off on you. That's all that is. So with M, I never heard M try to rap like no other artist. Like I've never heard him go in and have a 50 Cent song or have a T.I. song or a Lil Wayne song. So I don't feel that he borrowed nothing like he didn't swagger jack nobody or he been his own style since he came in and shit, you know. So I don't think that applies to him unless they just saying because he white and rapping and he's good at it. Um, and if that's how somebody feel, what can I say? You know what I mean? That's just a personal problem, man. There's nothing that I could even say to defend something like that. But I wasn't even trying to answer the question in defense of. I'm just saying, like, honestly, I don't see him stealing from nobody. He ain't stole nothing. You know what I mean? He rhymes his own patterns. Um, he does black music. Um, I don't know. That's the only thing you can say because he does black music. So and he gonna have sales. I mean, it's look how many people are in the world. How many black people in the world? How many white people? In the world? How many other? So when you look at the sales and the numbers, obviously things are gonna be different. You know what I mean? It just that's just how life is. But to say that he's stealing or being an Elvis or some shit like that, you know, he still signed people, put money in people's pocket, give people their credit when it's just due. You know, like Dr. Dre and people like that. He always give 50 his credit and shit like that. So I think they want him to go save everybody. They want him to save every black artist. That ain't his fucking job. That ain't his job in life ain't to do that. He work with the people he wanna work with and when that's done, he does what he wanna do, you know? It ain't shit, you know.
So Benzino mentioned Icewear Vezo. He said, "Yo, M, don't be showing the city love." Like he basically was quoting what Vezo was saying on a recent interview. So
Mhm.
Icewear Vezo responded to this. I wasn't sure if you caught Icewear Vezo's response, but
Uh-uh.
he said, Benzino, I did Fed time with your big brother, but I don't think it made sense that you brought me up in the diss song for a few reasons. One, I don't second nothing you said. And two, I'm never going against someone from my city for someone from another city. Why do you think Benzino feels the need to clout chase Vezo for comments that he personally made and put it in his diss song?
I don't know. I don't know why that man did that. It's the art of war music. So if he felt like Vezo said something that he could hop on, it makes sense of him doing it. But obviously it backfired on him. So Vezo stood on business like he's supposed to. You can't go against nobody from the D. You from the D, you got to stand on business, and he doing it. I'm proud of him for doing it. Like I ain't even mad at Benzino. Benzino felt like he had to say what he had to say and get it off his chest. It's how that man feel. I can't even take away his status, and from having the Source magazine, that shit was something I used to look at as a kid, and I would judge people partially off of that. And I always wanted to get 5 mics, and shit like that. Like that shit was important to me. Um, but I also saw he fucked over like people like Tupac and currently he fucked over people like that I knew had classic albums because they wasn't aligned with what he was aligned with. So I did see that. He had a couple of songs, that was his songs. Like I don't even have no personal problem with even Benzino. I get why he doing it. If you trying to diss somebody, you trying to go all the way in. So handle your business. You know what I mean? You should handle your business. I ain't mad at you, but you got to deal with having somebody else strike back against you. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think Benzino felt when Icewear Vezo told him to mind his neck? And how do you think the fans looked at it?
Um, he probably felt dumb as fuck, to be honest with you, because he probably thought he had an ally. And the fans, I'm sure they proud about that. All the Shady fans, I'm sure they proud about it. Everybody that's in Detroit, I'm sure they proud of it. That he ain't take that bait and go side with somebody that ain't from his city.
Really shows you how the new school of artist is back in the day. Like you were saying, he probably thought that was something he could have used as an ally. Back in the day, back
Mm-hmm.
in the early 2000s, you might have thought that if it was, maybe somebody that Benzino ran into at the source, that he could
Mm-hmm.
act like he was cool with. You know what I mean? But this new school of artists is just going to jump on the phone and be like, yo, why are you taking a picture with me and saying that we're going to the studio? You ran into me outside of the game or whatever,
Yeah,
you know?
that's how it is. So, he just tried to use it to get the clout he was looking for. It worked for a second, and now it just came back and bit him. So I'm sure that this ain't gonna be the last of him. He gonna have to come back. He gonna have to come back and say something. So we'll see what's next.
So Benzino said, you keep using the art form that we created to diss us. They try to rewrite history, make you the Elvis of hip hop. But in stores, Slim should be on the shelves next to Slipknot. He said Eminem needs to be near Slipknot. Like, why do you think Eminem wasn't always authentic enough for Benzino, for his standards, you know what I mean? For everyone else, everyone was like, it's good enough, but for Benzino, it's just not good enough.
Maybe because M doesn't do a song with Benzino. I bet if M would have done a song with Benzino, he would have got 5 mics in the source. Benzino would be championing him as one of the greatest lyricists of all time. That he's the highest selling artist in rap. Like, you just hating at this point. You know what I mean? It doesn't even make sense. Like, it really don't make sense. The man got too many accolades. He's been doing it for too long. You gotta give him his props. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta give him his props. Benzino don't want to do that. I don't know why. It must be he had to have wanted to do a song with him, and M just didn't want to do it. And then they war started. I never even asked about that one because I never took that shit serious. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't one of the people when I sat down and would have conversations with him about. He wasn't one of those type of people. He was just, I guess that was just some rap shit. I don't think nobody worried about him. Not saying he ain't no man about his business or whatever, but it wasn't that serious with them to where I had to really think about that shit. I heard him dissing, like I've heard shit like that, but nobody ever took him serious. Like his talent level just wasn't there. Like he was a decent rapper, and on certain radio songs he was cool, and maybe his street shit he was doing in the streets was cool, but he wasn't like on no like rapper level. Like he a rapper, he got bars. Ain't nobody worried about Benzino. He just started coming with decent stuff like that now. So now we go see what he got.
And it's really sad for Coil Ray because right now, if Benzino had put all of this to the side, maybe manned up, you know what I'm saying? Everything got put to the shelf. Maybe Eminem could do a song with Coil Ray at this point and really put her career through the roof.
Yeah, Koi deserved. Like my kids love Coil Ray. I got a gang. I got a gang of kids. I got a gang of girls. They love Coil Ray, man. So, I'm familiar with her material. You know what I mean? So, I guess I would be considered a fan of hers too. Anyway, you know what I mean? Just through my kids, I like that song with her busting and shit like that. So, he definitely should have invested in her because that's the talent. That's the true star. I don't know what the rest of everybody got in that and over there, but she the star. She got the real versatile talent. Like she can spit, she can rap. You know what I mean? And she ain't out here selling ass to put on records. Pretty much, she ain't out here like doing that shit. She on some real shit. So at least from what I had, so he should have gone ahead and support Koi for sure. I would do that.
Yeah, she got that major cosign from Little Dirk on one of the remixes, plus doing some touring. And then came the major Nicki Minaj cosign. A lot of artists will blow up and be forever remembered by the Drake feature. I think it would be something a little bit different for Coil Ray. If Eminem would have recorded with Coil Ray, I think it would cement her spot in the history.
Hopefully she can still do that. Yeah, Corey deserved it. Our bullshit aside, Corey deserved it. And should nobody be talking about her, and no beef with Benzino. Because that shit ain't cool. You know what I mean? You gotta leave people, kids up out of shit. You know, that's how shit get off of music and turn to real shit. I would never do no shit like that, like disrespect her. So I support her career, you know, and I hope she blow up. Hope she continue to blow up and have her success.
Did you hear the statement that Koi said? You know, she said the whole beef is whack.
I feel her. You know, but that's Koi is a girl too. You know, like men think differently. That's what we here for. That's what we raise. That's how we move forward. It's through beef. It's through clashing. You know, ain't nobody got to die from it and no shit like that. But if somebody just spitting lyrics and proving that you better than them as an artist, it's competition. Somebody having to get their ass whooped. It's just competition. You know, it's all good. But I feel where Corey coming from her direction and from her point. And plus, she don't want to see nobody serve her father. Because at the end of the day, she got to still love her daddy, you know?
Koi's exact quote, I believe on probably Twitter or X, was rap beef is so washed and tired, exhausting, embarrassing, just effing overall corny as F.
Yeah, I mean, she entitled to her opinion. She entitled to her opinion. You know, some people don't like rap beef, but I heard she was in a little bit of a rap beef earlier also, so I don't think that it's really that corny neither, you know?
So I wanted to ask you, man, you stressed the importance of it a little bit earlier to me, but how do you feel about Eminem not getting 5 mics in the source for any of his albums?
I thought that shit was crazy. If everybody have him regarded as at least a top five MC, um, he got multiple diamond albums. How didn't he get 5 months? Not even like he at least should have two of them. He should at least have two of them, you know. But they hated on him on purpose, and they hated on everybody that he was affiliated with. Also,
Yeah, one thing Benzino might be able to say is that they put him in the unsigned hype.
yeah, and that's tight. But what did you do once he became signed and he surpassed the hype? Then he tried to kind of, you know, tone him down some. So that shit wasn't cool. Like I said, the same thing he did with Snoop, same thing he did with Pac, with All Eyes on Me. You don't give All Eyes on Me a 5 months. That's crazy too.
You're not the only one from the shady camp that's actually spoken out about this. Like you said, you know, he actually he mentioned your name, you've come back with a track. Joe Budden. Joe Budden is a notoriously harsh critic of Eminem, but he made a statement and he doesn't agree with Benzino. He's actually on Eminem's side. He said, I love hearing people diss Benzino. You know, in this beef, I think he probably believes that Eminem has better bars. And I wanted to ask, like, what do you think about Joe Budden taking Eminem's side despite their past beef?
I mean, it's common sense. At least he being fair. You know what I mean? That showed that Joe being fair and diplomatic. He not being emotional about it. It's just Benzino versus Eminem don't make sense. You know that don't make sense. Does that make sense to you? Like, would you like if you could go to a battle and see Eminem versus Benzino? Would that be something you would pay your hard-earned money to see? I wouldn't, because you know it's gonna be lopsided. Like it doesn't make sense. So I just think Joe is just being honest. You know, and that's what's up. Joe Budden's got bars too. He one of them. He one of them niggas for real.
You know, everyone knew Eminem wasn't going to run up on Britney Spears. You know what I mean? He got noticed doing things like that. Benzino, he wouldn't have thought to do things like that in his career. You know, let me ask you, why did Benzino call himself a made man? He's not in the mafia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think his people's was something. Before it was some shit that I remember going on. He used to have like a mafia type dude in the videos. I remember, so maybe he was connected back then. But you know, I don't know. That he called himself that. Maybe he was that nigga back then. When you know back in those days. But it's a new day now.
What did you think about Eminem's bar about the giraffe with, you know, with Benzino with the short neck?
Um, what you think about it?
I mean, Eminem told us that he was going to tell us a joke. You know what I mean? It was one of them things where you had to rewind it because, like maybe you didn't get the joke, but Eminem has the ability to diss somebody just so perfectly, man. People were like
Mhm.
taking that line and Facebook statusing it, X putting on their Twitter X status. You know what I mean?
That's tight.
Like he just made him look like a clown and compared him to a giraffe. Benzino said, "You can't come at me with no giraffe bars." So, what did you think about the giraffe bar?
I don't think that Em was trying to really diss him. I think he was, he was cracking a joke on him. He said he cracked a joke on him. I think he was cracking a joke on him. It was funny. And I think Benzino put his all into those dishes that he wrote. I think he put like his heart and soul, and he probably he probably took a bar from each year of the last 20 years and put together to make those up to make himself feel good. And M just said some cool little funny little light jab, and everybody's talking about that. So I think that probably bothers him.
Yeah, you're right. I felt the exact same way. I was like, with Benzino's diss tracks, I felt like he put his all into it. You know what I mean? He was at a practice swinging like he was playing in the World Series. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
Eminem kind of just came in, did something real quick that was funny, that
Mm-hmm.
maybe if Benzino even reached out behind the scenes, like, yo, man, we're grown, man. We're grown. That's funny though, but we're grown. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
Benzino came back with a minute 25 diss song over the Jay-Z beat
Mm-hmm.
that just wasn't enough for him. He had to come back with 4.5 minutes,
Damn, that's 4.5 minutes long.
4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Damn.
Rap Elvis. He had to come back with a second one because you know how it is. You're an artist. You probably sometimes you're like, yo, I could have did something different on that verse. You know what I mean? So you be thinking on it the whole night, and then you go back and lay it at the studio. He was like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I had to make a whole nother 4 minutes to diss Eminem.
Yeah, that's some. He did what he did, and but I don't think it's gonna work for him. I can't see it working for him. I doubt if Eminem even really respond to him because it didn't make enough noise to get where it needed to. He'll probably tap at him later.
Everybody's saying that the bars are really good. I think one of the problems that Benzino is having right now is his production quality. That's one of the things I found to be, bad with the diss songs. I feel like back in the day, he had better production quality, probably. That's one of the things I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say his shit was whack, but I'm just gonna say I think that people are only giving it. If you're giving it more props, you're only giving it props because it's Benzino. Now imagine if this was just a rapper you already thought was dope and they were doing it. Would you really think that it was anywhere close to that good, or would you think it was just a cool song? You know, if a 5-year-old lifts 100 pounds, you're gonna be amazed. But if you or I do it, it doesn't really matter. It's like, okay, cool, you should. So that's all.
Benzino came out and said that he did have help with the diss tracks. So
Of
let's be
course,
clear, Benzino didn't write all the bars. How
of
do you
course.
feel about that? You know what I mean? How do you feel about the fact that Benzino did not write the bars and said that on his IG live? Is that respectable?
In the words of my boy Cassidy, no, it's not. No. You can never be a top five. You can never be considered great. You didn't write it. You got to write it. You can get help with a hook or something. But if you're not, you doing a diss record and you got other people helping you write it, you don't even know how to convey your diss. You don't know how to get out how you feel. That shit don't count to me. Then that mean that's somebody else doing it, And then if you go respond, the person, whoever you speaking to, should respond to both of y'all because it ain't even Benzino. You don't know what part Benzino even wrote. And that's crazy. It take two people to jump on one person. And he felt like him and his writer felt like they were making hit him up, it seemed like. Because he just went through the whole thing, like, you know, how Park was like, fuck Bad Boy and staff record label and as a crew. Seemed like that's what Benzino was trying to do, go down everybody that he know of that had action. But you can't do that. You ain't Park. It don't work like that. It's 2024. Ain't no hoes here. You know, that's what he got to remember. Ain't no hoes here. But I see what he was trying to do. I actually feel like he threw me an alley-oop. Like he threw me an alley-oop by mentioning my name. He threw all of us, whoever was going to jump the bait, because he knew M wasn't going to do it. So I took the bait, and we'll see what's up, man.
Cashis, your diss was very serious. You know, it's one of them joints where you know it's not for play, G's. Even if you didn't know Cashis, you'd know him after that record, man. And you'd say something like, this is the guy that's not to be tested. Yet, Benzino disses you anyways and said, I don't respond to the help. Do you think that's a cop-out? Is Benzino scared?
Hell yeah. You know that's a cop-out. You know that's a cop-out. I ain't nobody help. I ain't no help. I stood my own. I earned my spot, and I still do what I do. Ain't no help. He just scared. He know he can't beat me. His ghostwriter know he can't beat me neither. So that's all. I bet if I was one of the artists they didn't respect, he would respond. He don't want to play with me. He should though. He should play ball. He's just rapping. We just having bars, man. Ain't nobody finna do nothing. So come on and respond. And let's see how good it is. Pause. That sounds crazy. Let's see how good your flow is.
So, yo, you said, I'm the problem and the hustler. Smack your ghostwriter, baby.
I said, snipe your ghostwriter, baby. So I snipe your ghostwriter, baby. The same thing. Yeah. I got that from Cassidy.
Right.
I just seen that Vlad TV interview the day before I seen the I heard about the Benzino shit. And then I was listening, I'm like, there's no fucking way Benzino wrote this shit. Like, it don't sound like him. And then when I was just freestyling the song, that just, you know, came off the head. I fuck with Cassidy though. Like, I was actually listening to some Cassidy like the last week before. Like, I fuck with Cassidy. Like, I don't have a problem with Cassidy. Only way that line, I guess, is kind of ambiguous, I guess. The only way it would even apply to Cassidy is if he was Benzino's ghostwriter. Then that would be, then if the shoe fit, then, you know, then you can wear it. But personally, off the head, I have no issues with Cassidy whatsoever. And wasn't even thinking about dissing Cassidy. I root for him when I watch him on the battles and shit.
Okay, so that wasn't a shot at Cassidy because everyone knows Cassidy's the hustler and the problem.
It was a shot up. That's what I'm saying. I sniped your ghostwriter, baby. You gotta think. That whole song, I'm pretty much saying like fuck Benzino, pretty much. You get what I'm saying? So why wouldn't I say that about Cassidy if I felt that I was gonna do something? Why would I? Cassidy is the better rapper of those two. So why wouldn't I? I wouldn't just tap Cassidy and wait for him to, and, you know, that wouldn't be wise. If I was gonna go at Cassidy, I would really go at Cassidy and just go ahead and, you know, but I ain't, like I said, I don't have no problem with Cassidy. If Cassidy wrote my name in the song, then that's the only time that would apply. But if that wasn't Cassidy, that was actually a shout out, and he should take it as such. But I'm not ducking nobody. No, I ain't ducking no type of smoke and no rap smoke. Definitely, I ain't ducking no street smoke. I ain't ducking no rap smoke. So if Cassidy felt like it, you know, I got bars too, and I get way more bars than people might even think. Like, you know, I do this for real too. So, but I ain't got no problem with Cass though.
Cassius, your diss was very serious. You know, it's one of them joints where you know it's not for play, G's. Even if you didn't know Cassius, you'd know him after that record, man. And you'd say something like, this is the guy that's not to be tested. Yet, Benzino disses you anyways and said, I don't respond to the help. Do you think that's a cop out? Is Benzino scared?
Hell yeah. You know that's a cop out. You know that's a cop out. I ain't nobody help. I ain't no help. I stood my own. I earned my spot, and I still do what I do. Ain't no help. He just scared. He know he can't beat me. His ghostwriter know he can't beat me neither. So that's all. I bet if I was one of the artists they didn't respect, he would respond. He don't want to play with me. He should though. He should play ball. It's just rapping. We just having balls, man. Ain't nobody finna do nothing. So come on and respond. And let's see how good it is. Pause. That sounds crazy. Let's see how good. Let's see how good your flow is.
What if Benzino goes on Insta and says, I got 100K to fight? Would you be down for like a 50K, 100K fight?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I definitely don't think Benzino would do that. That wouldn't be intelligent. But yes, I would fight anybody who felt like they got a problem with me. I'm gonna defend myself, you know. And if he can diss niggas and say niggas didn't ride for proof, if he can do all the shit that he talk, he can pretty much say my whole career was nothing, and treat me to the public, and he can't take me rapping back, and he want to fight. Yes, yeah, you know what I mean. He'll get exactly what he looking for. Like, and ain't no hoes over here. I don't think he want to go to that point. That would be insane. I don't think he built like that.
He had just told Adam 22 on No Jumper that he did a celebrity boxing match for 25,000. Honestly, man, I think, if he could get something going on with a ex Shady Records artist, I think that's probably would up the bag for him.
Hell yeah. Nigga, let's set it up. He want to get down like that. I do that for some bread. Hell yeah. I fight a nigga for free if you just want to fight me. Like, it is what it is. But if he talking about he want to do some celebrity shit or some shit, we can get some money for sure. I'll get down with him. Why not?
You said on your diss track, this is a skill. Step out your body and it's a drill. Do you think Benzino can beat you up?
Come on, bro. Benzina, bruh. First off, as a man, I ain't gonna sit here and say nobody can whip my ass. I always said I'll beat the shit out of a fucking silverback gorilla. I've been saying that since I was a shorty. Like, I ain't scared of shit. Like, yeah, bro, I done beat the shit out of some people you wouldn't believe that you definitely wouldn't think that I would beat up. Definitely not worried about Ray Benzino. But I don't think it's gonna come to that. Like, I don't think we have fighting beef. Like, that's just rap shit. I'm just saying it's just his skill. Just.
Well, when you guys get in the ring.
Huh?
Well, if you guys were to get in the ring, I mean.
Oh yeah, if we was to get in the ring, he definitely wouldn't whip on me. No. No. It would be easy. It would be lightweight. Yeah, that would be lightweight.
What did you think about Benzino bringing up no one sliding for Proof's death? Why do you think he felt the need to bring that up?
Um, that was some bullshit to say, but that's why I responded in mine. I done bucked everybody who done touch one. I done spent on everybody who done bucked one of mine. Like, so you can't utilize that shit from over here. But at the same time, M ain't no shooter, M ain't no gangster, M ain't no killer. What you expect M to go do? You expect, and at that point, he's Eminem. Like, he ain't regular Marshall Mathers. He ain't been that way in a long time. So you expect him to do what? What you really expect that man to go do? Go put money on fucking somebody here to go get somebody white, and then he end up doing the rest of his life because niggas snitching? Nah, him ain't no fool. Him ain't no fool. He ain't stupid. You know what I mean? He ain't come from that type of environment to where that's inbred in him to do shit like that and throw his life away over shit like that. So I don't understand that. I don't understand. I mean, I get why he said it, and he tried to make a point. He may try to make a point with a bar, saying, you don't ride for your people, and that's what went into the rest of the shit about the artist, where he included me in. So I understand what he was trying to connect the dots at. But is it factual? Nah, because you can't expect who. No, I don't think nobody expected him to go slide on the streets for proof like that. I don't. If so, then I think you're a fucking idiot. Did you expect him to go shoot some niggas over that? Did you expect that for real in your heart? Like, I'm finna go out here and go ride and go shoot some fools in Detroit over this. Like, you know?
Well, if you're asking me, man, I really would have expected Eminem to just continue on with the legacy of D12. But, how big of a celebrity Eminem became, just like the likelihood of that became less and less just because of the way the music industry was.
And it's
I
probably
mean,
hurt. You know, if we kick it every day, if it's four of us, we kick it every day. Something happened where I'm not there. Are you gonna want to still do it the same way? Even if you try, you missing that other energy, and that other energy was the leader of the crew. It's not the same. You love everybody the same, but it's more pain than joy when you're going to try and create because you're always thinking about what you're missing. You know what I mean? That's all. That's why I say I'm traumatized in the brain of the people I lost.
on your joint, on your Benzino diss track, you had talked about some of his most embarrassing moments. I wanted to ask, how did you feel about Benzino getting caught in a hotel room for bunking up? You and Eminem actually exposed him for that.
Um, I mean, me personally, I thought that shit was hilarious, dog. I thought that shit was crazy. Um, I don't have a problem with nobody's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I got family members and whatever. Like, that's, I don't have a problem with nobody's lifestyle, but for Benzino and for rapping, that shit was classic. That was priceless, man. It was something it was a topic of discussion. I had to speak on it. Like, I was shocked that with that being out there to the public that he would speak on me. Like, that's crazy, guy. That's the first thing I think when I type in Google on Benzino.
And then you got the classic video of him getting arrested while going to his ex-girlfriend's house.
Crime, crime, you know? And like I say, man, anybody, I don't know. I don't know about crime to no police. Yeah, I don't know about that. So let's just say, but I ain't knocking them for it, but it was funny something to use. That shit crazy. You know what I mean? That was crazy. Yeah, that was some real shit to do.
So Eminem said that the Coil Ray feature is in the toilet at this point. How do you feel about the unfair criticism that Koi is getting for her dad's actions?
Um, I don't think nobody dissing Corey. I mean, I don't think I'm dissing Corey. I didn't take that as a diss. Um, and I'm definitely not dissing Corey. But if anybody's giving her negative reaction, it's just because her daddy calling people out. You know what I'm saying? He actually messing with people. He fucking with people. If you messing with people, people go respond back. But I don't think nobody should include Corey into it at all. But it's hip hop. People they say the craziest shit in hip hop, so you never know.
So the re-up drops in December of 2006, and your
Mhm.
EP follows in May of 2007.
Yeah.
The re-up to me was honestly, it was like an unofficial 50 Cent and Eminem collaboration project.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit more about recording the re-up?
The real was just, recorded. I recorded myself in LA most of the time. Went to New York, recorded some stuff, and then sent some stuff back from Orange County. You know what I mean? I was just sending music in, and whatever songs they picked, they picked. That's how it went. It was supposed to be a mixtape that turned into an album. So everybody was just sending in their music, and the best songs stayed.
Yeah, the album, it was actually supposed to be a mixtape at first. And
Mhm.
this mixtape turned into an album that moved over 320,000 copies in a single week. As
Mhm.
you said, there was a major video on BET and MTV. Did you have any moments in the studio with 50 Cent or G Unit that you could recall?
I've been in the studio with both of them, but everything, and at different together and at different times also. Like I was with 50 when he was recording, what's that, Come and Go off the Curtis album? The one with Dre when I was at Dre's studio. And that shit was dope to see 50 Process and film recording and all that shit. That shit was rough. And I done kicked it with, you know, Banks and Yayo and Buck. Like I done kicked it with all them differently. So, you know, that shit was raw. Like Banks, we just sit there and just chill. You know what I mean? That's when you know how I smoke. That's what I'm known for. You know what I mean? I smoke big. That's what everybody say when they get around me. Damn, you out smoke everybody, you know? And that's what I do.
So the joint that you did, the Hood County EP, was primarily produced by Eminem, Rick Nadi. Who was excuse me, Eminem was actually the only featured artist on there as well. How closely did the two of you work on the project?
Um, Real close. Like we did a lot of songs and stuff together. And just narrowed those down from there. I had Ron Browse on there. I forgot, I'm forgetting who else, but I know I had Ron Browse on there. And M took, like, he really, like, collabed with me big on, after the music was done, on just the ideas and sequencing it and how it's supposed to go. You know, he was hands-on with that project. It was a project he was proud of also.
So at what point was it determined that you were going to do an EP to start off the new year as opposed to just doing an official album?
Um, I had like hundreds of songs, and we needed to get just music out. Um, Off of the success of the re-up and the response of it, people were ready to receive some Cashis material. We just gave them 7 songs on the re-up right there. You know what I mean? I was just on 7 songs. So it only made sense to come through with the EP and get warmed up for the album. A limited edition EP. And that shit did what it was supposed to. It overdid. So that's when we were going into the double CD for Loose Cannon.
Now you said on the album, the solo debut album that was going to be titled Loose Cannon,
Mm-hmm.
you said that it was going to feature production from Dr. Dre. Did you ever get a chance to work with Dre?
Yeah, I did work with Dre in the studio. I worked with them. I have worked in the studio with Dr. Dre. Yeah, that was a list of everybody that I wanted to work with, and I had just mad songs with different people, you know. But that idea, it was gonna be. I had a whole idea of what I wanted to do with 2 discs. You know what I mean? It was gonna explain my personality and this side and that side. So one was gonna be all aggressive, and then one was gonna be another way. I had Rick Rock production on it. Of course, I had Rick Nadi, and when them was all over it, it was gonna be crazy. It was a crazy as album. Had like production from Nephew from it. Um, like worked with Jelly Roll from out west. DJ Khalil, Phonics Beats. It was just like that shit was crazy, man. That project was slap. That was slap right now for sure. Though. Yeah, I said something about it a couple of times. I was working on the double disc because I had so many CDs. You know, if it didn't turn out like that in the end, then it just, you know, because you could put 20-something songs on something back then. But I literally had a ton of music, and I wanted to give people. I always been enthralled with that from when Pac did that. You know, Pac my favorite artist anyway. So when I saw that, but I wanted to do it because really I'm like, I move like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm never in the middle. It's either all the way hot or all the way cold. So I was bringing people both sides of me. You know what I mean? One side of me is more of a hustler. You know what I mean? And more of a philosopher, of a motivator. I think big and I think highly of people on one side, and I motivate people to do their best in whatever they're doing. And another side of me is just don't give a fuck. Like for real, don't give a fuck. Like one side of me is a true nurturer, like, you know, always around my family, shit like that. That's what I thrive for. That's what keeps me sane. But it's another side of me when I'm outside too much that, you know, it is what it is. I'm a product of my environment, for real. So that's what that CD was designed to show people, and I was living it. You know, that's one thing we all noticed throughout the recording process is I was actually living out the project. I was a loose cannon, you know. So that's why I'm careful what I say and what I name, what I'm gonna name any future project, so I don't put myself into that mindset. Because you gotta really adapt to the mindset in the album where it's gonna be fake. And I come from the era where I gotta be real with everything I do.
Damn, did Eminem ever have to come and bail you out before?
Man, let's just say M looked out for me, man. Like let's just say M
Damn.
looked out for me, and you know, M knew what M knew what I was on. He wanted the best for me. He wanted me to really focus on the music because I had a real talent. I got a real talent, so um, he definitely guided me in the right direction.
I wanted to ask you about eventually getting your release from Shady Records. Was it 2012 when you got your release? How did you go about, distancing yourself or parting ways with Eminem?
Um, we just talked about it. I've been wanting to do it because I couldn't get a project out um, for a minute. So I looked at the landscape or how things was gonna go, and I just wanted to try it independent. Like I was getting I was getting taken care of. Let's just say I don't know how everybody else was, but I was being looked out for um with my situation with Shady Records. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have to do anything and could have been cool. But as I said, I'm a man with pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss, man. I'm a man with pride. I don't want to live off nobody. You know what I mean? Like me not releasing music, like, but still making rap money just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt like I'm living off somebody, and I can't do that. You know what I mean? I ain't done that since I was a kid. Like, I always been hustling, I always been on what I've been on. So, um, I didn't feel comfortable playing that position, and I knew that M was getting himself back straight from personal things that was going on in his life, and I just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And we had, I had hella conversations just looking for a way for me to either fly or fall. You know what I mean? Like, but I just wanted to try and see what I can do. And it wasn't no disrespect. It was never a disrespect thing. It was never nothing that was any animosity between any of us over there. It's always been love. You know what I'm saying? There'll never be nothing that's crazy. I just really wanted to see what was up with being a man and standing on my own too, and seeing how far I could go. You know what I mean? And learning the business from a different aspect. You know, because it's a clutch, not a clutch. It's a crutch. For me, I can always depend on the shady name. Even today, I can still depend on what I've done for that brand. 'Cause you can't, once you mention the shady name, somewhere within that, you're gonna bring my name up because I kept us going for a while when nobody was dropping music from outside. Like I was dropping EP and mixtape after mixtape and mixtape after mixtape. I kept our name extremely relevant. And I kept niggas from fucking with us. Because niggas knew it was gonna be a problem. Not saying everybody's scared of me, shit like that. But niggas knew what I was gonna do. And I was showing it, I was proving it places I was going. And niggas saw I was a cool motherfucker. You come around me, I'm cool to see you. But everything I talk about, I'm really about that. I ain't loud. I ain't extra flashy except if I want to be. You know what I mean? But I ain't never loud. I'm always cool. But it's how you react. And I'm a reactor, like a for sure reactor. So I feel like you can't mention Shady Records and not mention Cashis. Like I don't have to be, I'm not 50. You know what I'm saying? Always sold more records. You know what I mean? Proof was a legend. D12 sold more records. Everybody over there. But I'm gonna say, when you think of Shady Records, when you think of the Shady Gang, anybody say that, you can't say that without me. I made that. I'm the one that made it into that. Like, I was out here whooping niggas' ass behind talking about Shady Records and G-Unit. I was out here like for real. Like, and I had my squad with me. We was for real turning up. Like, so, and from a music standpoint, I got us respected in places where maybe they didn't listen to it like that. Cause I furthered the 50 aspect. You get what I'm saying? We got lyricists on the label. And Obi, a real street dude, and he a lyricist. You know what I mean? And 50 brought that real like street, like hustler, like I ain't playing that mentality and that image and that force. And you know what I mean? That's the lane I follow behind. Cause that's what I identify with. And I brought that and it made noise and it made people respect this shit was gonna happen behind Shady. You know, like they respected us. And that's what that was the most important thing for me. That's what I was there to do, was to bring respect and to set the tone behind what the two legends was doing. You know what I mean?
Not to mention, you turned down $1 million deal to work with Eminem.
Yeah. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, facts, man. You got a hell of a story, Cashis. But I appreciate you joining me today on the podcast, man. I look forward to speaking with you again, and I look forward to seeing everything that you do with your career in 2024.
Most definitely, bro. Man, it's good. We definitely got to keep on working and hollering. We've been knowing each other a long time, bro. You
Oh, yeah.
know?
We on this shit now, man. We're back at it, man.
For sure, man. Smoke you one, man. I'm finna smoke me two or three. You feel me?